surrendering. I am back, guys. So this is the second time this has actually happened tonight. You can see there's so much energy going on. Technology kind of cuts out mid-video, but it's fine. We're just working with this card, the Man. So on the last video, catch the first part of the reading, but we'll continue with it now. So for the last couple of cards, just really tune in to what wants to come through. So we were just speaking about the masculine aspect of self, and how this is particularly in relation within our own psyche, of how our mind, our mental space is working with our emotions, is working with our heart space. How are we honouring our inner needs, our needs of our heart, our emotions, our inner world? How are we balancing that with our external world, with our kind of everyday responsibilities, and with the mental space? Allowing this container, allowing this communication between the two, because when we drop into the heart, we allow ourselves to feel what needs to be felt without the judgment, without the kind of story or the narrative. We really offer a place of healing and movement and release as well. So let's see what else wants to come up. The Lilies. Now this is beautiful, because for me, the Lilies, this always looks like the lotus. And the lotus is all about that emergence through darkness, or the beauty that goes on underneath the surface. At the moment, we've been kind of brought into this collective pause, this space of the unknown, the uncertainty. We've been kind of plunged into the dark in a way. But this offers us a real opportunity to see what lies beneath our own psyche, what lies beneath our everyday behaviours, our everyday routines, and look a little bit deeper into what do we want to create, what's the beauty that's in that, what remains when all the external falls away, what is here, what is it that I'm grateful for, what is it that is wanting to come through me. But also realising that there's a part of us as a collective, part of us within, that will thrive in. It will always work toward the light. We'll always build towards the light. We will always come through. So it's allowing this new emergence. And sometimes that journey can be quite tough and challenging, but there's beauty at the end of it. Think about the beauty of a lily pad or a lotus flower. That beauty that emerges from that. So this is a little bit about surrendering. When I see the lilies, I always think about allowing the process to unfold, even when we don't always know the destination, or we don't always know the answer. Allowing ourselves to meet ourselves along the way, to hold ourselves along the way. So that's the Lilies. Beautiful, powerful messages this week, really powerful. And then the last one is the Snake. So the Snake is very much about that active life force energy, that primal energy that weaves through us, that weaves through all of life. It's a very powerful force. But in this deck, the Snake also relates to us and our fears. So when our outer world, especially our environment, is challenged, it is very natural for this to really knock on or uproot our deeply held fears, like fears related to our survival, our primal instincts, our primal fears from childhood, from the past. So this is about facing some of that, allowing us to work through shedding. Snakes are very symbolic of that shedding, that transformative energy as well, of allowing ourselves to confront some of those fears, to face some of those fears, to sit in those, to see what's on the other side of them, to hold those emotions, to hold what may be arising for us, and to work with this energy, because this is a very powerful energy that can be used. It can be used as a destructive force, but it can also be used as a highly creative force. The snake is that kundalini, is that life creation force. What is it that I want to do differently? And if I am fearing this and I am feeling this, what does this mean I want to birth through? What's the light that wants to come through this? What's the challenge I am being called to undertake? What is it that I'm truly afraid of? Meeting and holding that part of ourselves as well, holding that part of ourselves. Because this is a very powerful card. There's lots of red, so this is very much related to our physical environment, our root chakra, and very much about how we honour and hold fears within ourselves and within others, how we support each other, how we support ourselves and hold ourselves when we're afraid. Do we allow it? Do we push it away? Do we pretend that's not happening? And then finding that faith, finding that creation, that life force that lies within all of that. On the other side of fear, there is love, there is faith. There is a strength that comes sometimes from facing those moments, from overcoming challenges. We have the lilies, we have this reminder that we will come through the other side. There will be light on the other side of this, but sometimes we have to be immersed in that dark in order to access those powerful gifts within us. Sometimes these gifts are accessed through challenge, and it's about allowing ourselves to work through that, work with that very raw energy, that raw emotive energy, that raw life force energy in a creative way. Channel it. Allow yourself to move, to express, to feel, to cry, to release. Work with those emotions. Allow yourself to honour your needs for security, your needs to be gentle with yourself, to care for yourself, to support yourself through this. And reach out and connect and support with others as well. Because there is the potent power, this beauty and this healing that's happening at the moment. Whilst all this this collective fear and uncertainty is going on as well, there's so much light that's here, even in this darkness that we might not be able to see yet, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. And this is what this, it feels like the reading is really calling for, is really calling to remind us of the strength that comes from being in our hearts, from being in that compassion, from being in that loving and supportive space, both to ourselves, but to others as well, to reaching out to others from the heart space. So I just want to thank you all so much for joining me live tonight for this reading. And again, if you are interested in joining me for the moon ceremonies, every couple of weeks live in my moon group, I will post the link below for that, for those. They're going to be happening soon. And I also have my next offering is launching live this Friday. So this is a 4-day journey called The Wisdom of the Wild Maiden. So this is really working with our deep primal self, really going back to the beginning, going back to our maidenhood, our inner child, to look at where beliefs or blocks or energy may still be held in places that may still be keeping us stuck or keeping us defined in boxes that we're ready to break out of. So this is a real reclaiming of parts of ourselves that we may have forgotten about, things that we want to bring back, resources that were available to us as children that we may want to return to. So I'll post the information about that below this video as well for those of you who are interested. It's a 4-day deep dive immersion, and it's only for a very small group. But this, I'm really excited about the potency and the power of this work, this journey. So that's going to be happening over the Easter Resurrection weekend. So we're going to dive down and we're going to emerge with the rebirth on Easter Sunday, on Resurrection Sunday. So again, thank you so much everyone for joining me live here tonight. I'm sending you all the love, all the full moon blessings, and I hope to see you again very soon in a couple of weeks for the next new moon tarot reading in 2 weeks' time. Lots of love.